So, and that's one thing. This episode had a lot of stuff in it. We're talking people getting killed by dildos. We have superhuman hamsters who are diving into people's faces or, in their eye. Episode is wild. We have one of the main key episodes. We have some betrayal. Hey, what's going on, folks? Another episode of Just My Opinion with Ryan. We have a lot to get into when it comes to the boys. But before we do that, you know my not slogan, but you know how it goes. If you're a new viewer of this channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. It would really do me a huge favor. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Let's keep the views going. I really appreciate the the consistency as of late. So thank you all. So the boys, man, episode 4 dropped yesterday, and hot damn it, it is a lot to unpack. Where do we begin? I mean, we see, we see Marvin, getting upset, looking at like some old school Soul Train thing of Soldier Boy enjoying himself. And just to fast forward, this episode, the guys plan a trip to Russia. They need to find this BCL Red so they could take out Homelander. That's pretty much what this whole season is. Like, the conquest to take out, journey to take out the Homelander, damn it. And shit, they're right. The Homelander gotta go. That boy is unhinged. And one thing about the Homelander it's not like this huge think piece or some deep observation, but everybody who's allies with Homelander, whether it's A-Train, the Deep, now we have Victoria or Nadia, whatever she's going by, they all like kind of rock with him out of fear, not because they really like him. It's more so out of fear, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So the boys, they go back to Nina, pay her some money, try to get some information out of her. Nina wants Cherie's head on a stick, and Cherie is, Frenchie's kind of, I don't know if he's like, Frenchie's kind of a man, he definitely has some connection with Kimiko, and then Cherie is the one who is in trouble. Nevertheless, Nina wants Cherie dead, and the boys make a deal saying, hey, how about if we do another favor for you and we leave Cherie out of this. So they make an agreement that she'll let them know the location of the BCL Red in exchange for them taking out some rich Russian oligarch or some rich made man out there in Russia. So they make the deal. They do that, and they go to Russia, and Kimiko is assigned to take this guy out. And I'm liking Kimiko's storyline. Kimiko and Frenchie's storyline in this entire series. They definitely have a connection. They have the closest connection out of everyone in the boys. But Kimiko definitely is tired of this whole killing and, superhero life in a sense. And, she reluctantly, does this mission. She doesn't want to kill anymore. And of course, my guy, Butcher, he's not the most kind-hearted guy. He lets them know, look, you do what I say, you are my hired gun in this case, whatever the case is. So it's like people rock with Butcher, but it's not like out of fear. They just rock with him, because they believe in his mission they agree with his mission that Homelander has to go, which you can understand. So, and that's one thing. This episode had a lot of stuff in it. We're talking people getting killed by dildos. We have superhuman hamsters who are diving into people's faces or, in their eye. Episode is wild. We have one of the main key episodes. We have some betrayal. Anyway, So the boys go into, the secret location, trying to look for the BCL Red, the secret weapon that's going to take out Homelander. And damn, I'm all over the place. Even before that, before they even make the trip to Russia, my guy Huey finds out that that Butcher has been juicing off that temporary V or VOT. Makes you superhero in less than, for 24 hours. We already see what type of capabilities Butcher has whenever he takes it. And my concern about Butcher is because he's so power hungry and has this tunnel vision of trying to get rid of the Homelander. I fear that Butcher is slowly becoming this temporary V junkie. You kind of see the signs, not to make joke of the matter, but you kind of see the signs of he's like, I'm paraphrasing. He's like, I could stop when I want. I only do this just in case we need it, stuff like that. But he's like taking this temporary V in secret until Huey finds out. And so yeah. Anyway, so they go to Russia. They find a secret location. They mess around with the wrong hamster. Hamster makes a lot of noise. Alarm goes off. And, because of the situation, they're kind of outnumbered, they're outmanned. Butcher has no choice but to go ahead and turn up on these guys and show out his superpowers. And so that definitely, of course, who I think is probably the most level-headed of the group, definitely is, disappointment with my guy Marvin. So that whole storyline is just kind of a shit show. And of course the big reveal with that is they open up that little canister or whatever, and it's so hilarious about how the parallels or the parodies, if you will, that they have with some of our more well-known superheroes. Just like Captain America, they open up this chamber of some sort, thinking they're gonna find a weapon. They do find a weapon, but it's not what they think. The weapon that they do find is actually Soldier Boy, and things look it looks bad for the boys. The boys are kind of down bad, bro. They kind of down bad. So and if you haven't gathered, I just want to stick to a storyline. Stick to certain storylines in order instead of just trying to just go chronologically. So when the Soldier Boy comes out, of course, something is clearly altered about him. He doesn't even know who he is. It seems like he doesn't even know what time period it is. But there is something slightly different. Soldier Boy actually, to me, and once again, I don't think it was like some deep dive or some type of super keen observation. It appears that maybe he is now fused himself somehow with BCL Red, because we all seen when he let out that beam out of his chest, looked like some Iron Man type of stuff. Kimiko got in the way of it to save her love interest, Frenchie, and she's not healing. So once again, Kimiko is my favorite character out of the boys, and for her not to heal, breaks my heart, man. She's definitely on death's door. I hope that she slowly heals or something, because don't get rid of my girl like that, man. Like, at least have her. I don't care if you have her in the hospital for the entire season, but don't kill my girl off, man. Please, writers. But that's just another story. And and also with that whole Russia trip, we found out that Huey secretly stole some temporary V so he could get some of the superhero action. And even though it was wrong, it kind of paid off because he saved Marvin's life. Marvin was about to get sniped, wasn't even aware that there was another soldier behind him ready to shoot. And what do you know? Huey has the power to like teleport, and he literally punches a hole through a guy's chest. So apparently that's a superpower. It's teleportation as well as some type of strength. So now I'm kind of in fear for Huey as well. He seems to be power hungry, and he's all mesmerized by what his powers can do and stuff like that. But the boys are down bad. Like, you have, I believe, one temporary V junkie in Butcher, and another potential temporary V junkie with Huey. And with that, that brings us to the other storyline when it comes to this mess with Starlight and Homelander and just the whole this reality show type drama with the Seven. Just to go with that storyline, before Huey even found out about the temporary V, he found out about it. He finds out, about this love thing, this love affair thing that Homelander and Starlight are doing just for the show. And of course he's not happy with it. And the one thing that's so annoying about Homelander, he knows he's the most powerful superhero, and of course he's gonna flaunt it. He's just like this asshole because he knows who's gonna beat him. Nobody can beat him, so of course he can act however he wants to act. And he emasculates Huey every chance he gets, even if you look at some of the episodes from the previous seasons. So he emasculates Huey in front of his girl again, saying all type of inappropriate stuff like, oh, is she a good fuck? How is she in bed? All this type of stuff that you wouldn't ask a person. And because it's not like Huey can beat this dude, especially as a human, Starlight always has to interject and try to, talk Homelander off the ledge or, have Homelander stop from emasculating her boyfriend. So I can understand, where Huey is coming from. I mean, I ain't gonna front. If you think about it, if in this situation, of course, it's all fictional. But if your girl is a superhero and you don't have any superpowers, and like you got these superhero men always testing you as the boyfriend, of course you're gonna want some of this temporary superpower stuff, and to just at least try to level up the playing field, something. So I get it, even if Huey got his ass whooped with temporary V, at least he would have some type of superpower to try to, fight back or have a little bit more backbone with Homelander. And then once again, with that said, if a superhero is talking shit to me and I'm just regular Ryan, what can I do? There's only so much you can do, because you're getting your ass whooped. But so I understand where Huey's coming from, but once again, back with this Starlight drama within the Seven, her only ally, well, her two allies, of course, is Maeve, and then you have Supersonic. Supersonic is on board, of course, trying to help out Starlight any way he can. And one of the key turning points with this whole drama within the Seven is when A-Train and the Deep get into it. And you know what? And that's another question I have. Like, why is the Deep's girlfriend involved in these meetings with superheroes? The scene I'm talking about if you've seen this episode already. A-Train brings up, hey, there's this racist superhero who's monitoring, minority, poverty-stricken neighborhoods. He's over policing the area. He's doing police brutality on unarmed black people, just the whole thing. And he wants to bring awareness to that. And of course, the Deep's girlfriend sends some type of, response that the Deep should read to try to combat A-Train's concerns. But once again, who in the hell is allowed, I guess you could say Homelander, but it's like, why in the hell is she in these meetings? Like, she's not a superhero. She doesn't work for the staff like Ashley does. I can see if Ashley was in these meetings, but it's like, come on, man. But anyway, so unfortunately for Supersonic, he makes the mistake of seeing how A-Train was undermined by the Deep and Homelander. And after they have like this, little tiff in the hallway, Supersonic puts A-Train on to the plan to try to overcome or overthrow Homelander at some point. So Supersonic lets A-Train know about Starlight's plan to try to overcome Homelander. And unfortunately for Supersonic, A-Train betrays Supersonic's trust and literally runs back to Homelander and tells him about it. So he's definitely looking familiar from Samuel Jackson's character from Django. Come on, man. Like you. Anyway, and so as a result, Homelander picks up Starlight to look good for the cameras, and they fly off together. And unfortunately, I thought it was real cold. He was like, "I'm gonna show you the most beautiful sight that I found," or something like that. And flies her up to the roof, where she sees Supersonic's face beat in. He is, limbs ripped off. He stood no chance with Homelander. Homelander just killed him with his bare hands, clearly. So that storyline is wild as well. The boys are down bad. Like they have no BCL Red. Starlight's, plan to try to overthrow him with other members within the Seven. That's gone to shit. And the other thing that is now on that now is advantage Homelander is Nadia, aka Victoria Newman. We have Stan Edgar, played by Juan Carlos Esposito. We have Stan Edgar, who's like, hey, I know you saw Homelander on some type of Fox 5 mimic show where he's, anyway, you saw what I'm talking about. He's, letting people know about where he stands with certain issues. And Stan Edgar wants to reprimand Homelander in public, but he wants his daughter to do it. And so, with that said, Victoria reluctantly agrees to do it, and at the last minute turns on her surrogate father by saying that Homelander is a whistleblower on Stan Edgar, accusing him of all these different type of crimes and so forth. And, and in exchange for her turning on her father, Homelander gives Victoria, like a large supply of V or, superhero medicine, whatever you want to call it, so that she can turn her daughter Zoe into a superhero as well, to make her, more capable of fighting for herself, if need be. And that was kind of a sad scene to see too. She's putting the Vought stuff into her daughter, and the daughter is just screaming in pain and everything like that. So, hate to see it, man. Hate to see it. There was one more point. You know what? There is one more observation. Maybe we'll have some type of secret reveal later on in the season, but out of everyone who appears to be human, Stan Edgar really be talking to Homelander however he feels like it. I will give Stan Edgar credit for that. Like after, he has all these, accusations put on him, and after the daughter turns on him, Homelander comes in and tries to talk a little bit more trash. I hear you have a temporary leave of absence. Oh, that's too bad, right? And, instead of Stan Edgar, sounding fearful or quiver, like he had like some smart ass, replies to Homelander, saying that, well, they both were just talking trash to each other. And I can't recall some of the things that, Stan Edgar said, but Stan, my point is Stan is to be talking to Homelander like the Homelander has no superpowers. He talks to him crazy as well. So maybe Stan Edgar has some type of secret superpower that we don't know about, or maybe he has control over some type of superhero who he knows he could pull out, like almost like a Joker in Spades or something. He got some type of something up his sleeves because he talking to Homelander crazy. That's just my whole point. I think he said something to the fact that he called like Homelander a big nothing himself, whatever he said. My point is, if you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. He talks to Homelander as if he's a nobody. So that's just the overall review. I'm loving the separate storylines. Like as I mentioned, this episode definitely seems like the boys really made no progress with this recent episode. As I said before, in my opinion, it looks as if this BCO Red is actually infused with Soldier Boy somehow. Starlight's plan to secretly recruit heroes to come together against Homelander, that went south. And Stan Edgar, who normally has control over Homelander in some sense, That's gone. So this whole episode was Advantage Homelander. That's what we'll call this episode. Advantage Homelander. And this was a great one, man. I think some of my predictions are, and it may not be this huge hot take, but my prediction is that you're gonna have all of the boys at some point are gonna take Super V, and they're gonna team up with Starlight and Maeve. Whether they get this BCO red or not sure yet, but it's gonna be the boys, Starlight and Maeve. The boys will be hawked up on Temporary V, and it'll be a V'd up boys with Starlight and Maeve versus Homelander and his crew of flunkies that he has. You know, once again, they ride with Homelander out of fear, not out of, you know, respect. So it's going to be Homelander, A-Train, The Deep, and Nadia versus the boys, Starlight and Maeve. That's my prediction. Hopefully my girl Kamiko, you know, recovers. And because the show's so good, of course, even if she dies, I'll still watch it. But damn, don't take my favorite character away, y'all. Nevertheless, folks, thank you for hanging in there. I truly appreciate it. And this is just my opinion. Love it or hate it. Peace.